Hey, everybody. Let me make sure I've got the speaker working. Yesterday, I didn't do a test. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Today's story is about crypto funds, Grayscale funds. I did this literally years ago, and we have sound. I did it years ago, but I had a lot of questions this week because Grayscale are coming out with a new fund looking at smart contract platforms, which sounds really cool. Let's get into it. And let's look at all funds as well. And a lot of people are looking for a shortcut when it comes to investing. And there are no shortcuts when it comes to investing. But maybe there is potential for some of these new funds. We'll look at expense ratios, allocations, net asset values, and so much more. So let's go. And thank you as well to T&D Tesla, Sean Donnelly, K8, Max Grease. Very sorry about your loss. And yeah, be careful out there. I hope, I don't know where it was, but crime is on the rise, everybody. So not only is this not financial advice, but financial advice, lock your stuff down and keep off the grid. Don't let people know you have wealth, jewelry, assets, Bitcoin, all that stuff. Anyway, shout out to Patreon too, from J Stacks, rough and ready. Thank you. You and the team of the best crypto alpha YouTuber plus. Patreon's great. Thank you for being part of the family. Let's get into Grayscale crypto funds. First of all, the reason this question came about, everybody's asking about this new Grayscale smart contract fund gives the highest weight to Solana. That's the first piece of news. But they have built an attractive bag of Solana, Ethereum, Cardano, Avalanche, Sui, Near, Polkadot. And a lot of people are asking, should I just invest in this? And that way I don't have to worry about allocations, etc. Leave it up to the experts. And maybe we'll try and solve that question. But first, we need to understand Grayscale investments. The Trustpilot reviews are not good, ladies and gentlemen. And it's very important to also understand how these funds evolve. First of all, before the public can even buy or see a ticker like GBTC or something else, there is a private placement. And this is where the accredited investors, the rich people, get an allocation. All right. And then they get a public quotation on the secondary market, and then they do SEC reporting, and then it converts into an ETF or a trust or whatever else. And then the plebeians like us, we buy. But should we? Or should we buy early or not at all? We'll get into that. First of all, these are all of the Grayscale crypto trusts and funds that exist out there. And what I did was I calculated the assets under management, the net asset value per share, the price move, that doesn't matter, that's Friday's price action, and the market price per share. And if you look at the very top, and I ranked them in terms of premium, you've got a thing called Grayscale Filecoin Trust. You buy the share for $27. And your net asset value per share is $2.95. The premium is 815%. You'd want to be out of your mind to buy this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely out of your mind. Number 2 on the list is Mana, Grayscale Decentraland Trust. As you know, I think all gaming tokens are complete money grabs. So yeah, that's garbage. And it has 162% premium. It's ridiculous. Grayscale Horizon Trust, no idea what that is, 152%. Grayscale Chainlink Trust, premium 106%, and on and on. There is actually one that's at a discount, and that's the Grayscale Ethereum Classic Trust. But Ethereum Classic is more dead than Ethereum. And even the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund is trading at a little bit of a discount, but it's also full of garbage, and it's, anyway, moving on. That's just very important. If you buy these things, thank you, D&D Tesla. Yeah, every day there's a gremlin. But there are people that buy these things because they think they're good. I had a guy over at the house, and he actually, well, I won't talk about what he bought, but it was very challenging for me to burst his bubble and tell him he was in all the wrong things. Anyhow, these are future funds that are coming down the pike as well from Grayscale. And this means these are invested in by accredited investors, not by you guys yet, but they'll be coming. And the reason I have this list up is because it has that one we're talking about today, the Grayscale Smart Contract Fund, private placement only, accredited investors, plebeians go pound sand. You can buy it when they've had their pound of flesh first. So you can see here, there's Bit&Soar, Decentralized AI Fund, Dogecoin, Lido, Maker, Near, Optimism, Pith, XRP, Aave, Avalanche. It's crazy. If you look at some of the money that these things have already pulled in, quite substantial. You got Pith has nearly 11 million bucks in it. So does XRP, 11 million. And anyway, NAV per share, you can't see the actual price per share because it's not exactly out. Max Grease, again, sorry for your loss, buddy. Be safe out there. Anyway, let's get into some more of the story. Let's get back to this Grayscale Smart Contract Fund. And what I really want to focus on is on the allocations to answer the question, should folks buy? A couple of people asked me. One of them is an accredited investor, and he wanted to know, should I dump some money into this? It's 31.3% Solana, 31.22% Ethereum, 18.23% Cardano, Avalanche 7.2%, Sui 6.5%, Near 2.95%, and Polkadot 2.54%. So let's break it down. Now, first of all these funds from Grayscale have a 2.5% fee, which is very, very high. I've done many, many models illustrating how much over a period of 10 years a 2.5% fee would eat from your profits. And the answer is substantial. Very, very substantial. So beware of fees. And the question is, are you paying 2.5% management fees because these people are expert at allocating funds? We shall see. Now, what I did was, as usual, I modeled stuff. I said, imagine we could allocate based on adoption or allocate a fund based on the number of transactions per day, users per day, all sorts of metrics. So I decided to see what I would do if I allocated the fund accordingly, because that's how I invest. I invest based on Metcalfe's law, based on adoption, based on revenue, based on fundamentals, all this type of stuff. So here from the SEB profile, you can see the number of users yesterday, 5.267 million for Solana. Near Protocol, which is in this fund, 2.975 million users. Sui, 1.24 million users. Sui now has 3 times the number of users of Ethereum. Ethereum, 400K. Avalanche, 50K. Cardano, 24,000. Cardano used to have, back in 2021, 2022, 10 times the number of users. So I don't know what's happening because crypto adoption is going up like this and Cardano adoption is going down. So something's wrong there. And Polkadot. Shout out to Polkadot, 4,300 users. So what I did was I created a little model, real simple, real crude. I call it AWAR, Adoption Weighted Allocation Ratio. I took the ratios within the Grayscale fund of Solana 31%, Ethereum 31%, Cardano 18%, etc. And how would the allocation look if it was a function of the amount of daily active users, i.e. adoption? That means you can't make these numbers up. The expected weight for Solana will be 52.8% of the fund. Grayscale off by 69%. Didn't make that number up. That's just the way the table came out. Ethereum should be reduced by 87% because the expected weight is only 4% of users. Sui should be up by 91% because they got 12% of users. Near Protocol should be up by 911%. That's really, really bizarre percentages I'm just noticing now. 91%, 911%, 69%. But the point is, they are making pretty large allocations to things that are dead. Cardano, I would reduce it by 99%. Okay, based on adoption. Polkadot, I would reduce it by 98%. Avalanche, I'd reduce it by 93%. But there's more. In case you don't think adoption is real, maybe you want to do something else. Well, I did it for transactions. But before we get to that, this is what the reduction would look like for these funds. If you are building a smart contract platform, go with the winners. Near, Sui, Solana. They have all the adoption. But let's see what we would do here. We'd reduce the Ethereum allocation by 87%, reduce Cardano by 99%, reduce Avalanche by 93%, and reduce Polkadot by 98%. But this might be the wrong approach. So let's make another approach. Let's do transaction weighted allocation ratio. By the way, AWAR and TWAR, I made these things up, but these are ratios based on numbers and data. So I kind of like them. Happy Saturday, Darren. So the actual weight again, first column, and the expected weight based on transactions per day. The weight for Solana then, if it's based on transactions per day, as of yesterday's data, which you have. I forgot to share the screenshot of. I'll tweet it out later. I'll share it on Patreon. But the total number of transactions is insane for Solana. Let me see if there's a way of me pulling it in here. I don't even know. Let me try. Getting used to all this. If I can share. No, I don't want to screw anything up. So anyway, the point is, I do have the numbers. Solana yesterday had 54.5 million transactions. Near had 5.5 million transactions. Sui 4.9 million transactions. Ethereum 1.3 million transactions. Avalanche 300,000. Cardano 50,000. And Polkadot 14,000 transactions. When you weight them, basically 81.5% of the transactions are handled by Solana. And 8.27% of the transactions are held by Near, and 7.48% of the transactions are handled by Sui. Therefore, those allocations should go up. The allocation for Solana should go up by 161%. That for Sui up by 15%, and for Near Protocol up by 180%. But we would reduce the others by a drastic amount. Ethereum down by 94%, Cardano down by 100%, wipe it off the face of the earth altogether. Avalanche 92%, and Polkadot 99%. So whether you look at transactions or users, the result is the same. They have way too much allocated to what I would refer to as dead chains. And even if you hate Solana, I don't care. Look at Sui instead. Look what Sui does in relation to these legacy chains. Look what Near Protocol does in relation to these legacy chains as well. And again, Near Protocol makes all this money from coupons in Asia, so it's a separate issue. It's like Tron make all their money from stablecoin transactions, but therefore they don't have the breadth of dApps exactly that I like. But let's get to the conclusion, everybody. What should we do? So on the Grayscale funds and on the smart contract platform, shout out to Mark once again. Should he buy it? Should he allocate as an accredited investor? I say no, because I question the holdings. I question the allocations. I question the sale to accredited investors first ahead of the public so that they will ultimately dump on the public when these things launch. They're typically sold at a premium and retail is left holding the bag. Remember, I always say, if you're not first, you're last. Well, if you're an accredited investor, you're first. If you're in the public, you're last. Don't be last. Try be first. And if you don't have the millions of dollars to be an accredited investor, then skip it. Avoid Grayscale funds unless they're at a 55% discount. And for those of you who remember watching DCA years ago, I mentioned the Ethereum Grayscale fund was at a 55% discount, and I bought it. And then I sold it, went to 10% discount. And that's how you can make money. Watch the discounts, everybody. And the final thing from Stephen Danello, Grayscale funds are not for the retail investor. They only care about the certified investor, or what he means is accredited investor. They absolutely suck for the little guy. Don't ever buy a security from them. If you're not in their certified round of investors, let them play with the money instead of hosing you. That was from December 8th, 2024. Shout out to Stephen. Thank you. Hope you liked that video. A little different, but remember, be careful. Do your research, because the data tells you everything you need to know. And watch, especially these ones here. I think it was slide 8. Watch the premiums, okay? Don't touch anything with a premium. All right. A little small premium is okay, but not 815%, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming. Thank you once again, Sean Donnelly. Elena, TND, Tesla, Piper up there in Canada, beat Bitcoin Maxi Mike, LAX guy, and everybody else. Beware of the funds, the crypto funds. Do the work, do the research. I give you all the data. Choose your allocations. Don't let other firms choose them for you and then charge you 2.5% because that will eat your gains alive. Thanks all. Have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow for Q&A. Bye-bye.